Hello again, device heads. This is going to be a more casual, less scripted video. I have a regular Deviceworld episode coming up in the next couple weeks. It's been a bit delayed because while doing research, I realized there was a bit more to it than I had originally expected, but please look forward to that coming soon. For now, we're going to get up close and personal with some SACDs, which is something I didn't really get to do in the last video, so I'm making this short follow-up just to walk through what it's like to open up and play an SACD, as well as show you some of the subtle ways that the packaging, disc, and player are different from regular CDs. I am now also the proud owner of an SACD that has been remastered for surround sound, and I'll share my thoughts on the listening experience at the end of the video. With that, let's just get right into it. So I have these two SACDs, Reggatta de Blanc by The Police, which is a stereo super audio CD, and Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd, which is a hybrid 5.1 surround sound SACD. Hybrid meaning it has both CD and SACD audio on it. It's immediately obvious that the exterior packaging is pretty much exactly the same as that of a CD. These are standard plastic CD cases with the exact same dimensions as regular CD cases. You can see me comparing the two right now. They open the same, keep the little booklets under the same type of tabs, and are generally laid out the exact way that you would expect CDs to be laid out. Now, one very small difference in the case is that most CDs used to come with a compact disc digital audio logo pressed into the plastic somewhere. You know, these types of badges that sort of showed off compatibility were just more common in general back in the day. Nowadays, a lot of CD releases don't even have them. You'll see Brat does not have them anywhere on this disc, not even on the back. And neither does this Police Super Audio CD. That's because this is only a Super Audio CD. It's not a hybrid CD like the Pink Floyd album, which you'll notice does have compact disc digital audio molded onto the plastic on the inside. Let's take a closer look at the Dark Side of the Moon. I couldn't 100% confirm this because there's literally like 1,500 versions of this album on Discogs, but I'm quite confident that this album artwork for Dark Side of the Moon is unique to SACD releases. I scrolled through a ton of the entries and couldn't find any non-SACD releases of this album with this purple and green artwork. Not to mention, all the SACD releases use this artwork, so I think I'm safe in assuming that it's unique to the format. Opening up the booklet on the inside reveals the track list, the credits, as well as the lyrics. It also includes a little gallery of artwork that's associated with this iconic album. Flipping to the back page shows that the 5.1 surround mixing was done by James Guthrie, whose name you might recognize if you're a really big Pink Floyd fan. He helped produce and mix a ton of their music, so it's really cool that he was one of the people to master this for surround sound. Now, let's take the disc out and have a look. You'll notice that it's kind of a goldish color, as opposed to typical CDs, which are more mirror-like in their finish. If you're really into obsolete media formats, you might know that this isn't the first disc to come in gold. The very, very obsolete and niche format known as CD video also used gold discs, though they were a much brighter gold than SACDs. Other than the color, it just looks the same as a regular CD. Let's take a look at the Police album. I actually bought this as new old stock, so I still have the original promotional material it came packaged with. We can see that it originally cost 3,000 yen. This edition came out in 2013, so it cost about $30 back then, or $41.75 today, which is really pricey. Luckily, I only paid like $26 for it. Unfortunately, the entirety of this slip is in Japanese. Luckily, translation software has gotten really good in the past few years, so let's take a photo of this and translate. Unsurprisingly, the back is all marketing material for SACDs, but hey, now we know that SACDs deliver a sense of scale that reaches you effortlessly, a soft analog-like texture, a sense of reality unfolding before your eyes, a three-dimensional feel that unfolds deeply in space, and a solid, firm sense of stability. Which, if you've seen my previous video, you'll know that's not really how people felt. But sure, there's also this graph that shows there's less steps to decoding the audio, which makes it better, I guess. Let's take a look inside. So we have this outside slip, which has got the track list as well as the credits and some promotional artwork, and the inside book, which contains the track list in Japanese, as well as the lyrics in Japanese and English, as well as this really long intro about the police and how amazing they are. If you want to read the translation, you can find it in the pinned comment, or you can pause and read this. It's the same text. What's really interesting about the booklet is actually what's written on the back. It's a little bit hard to see, so let me bring it closer to the camera. It says, Tape Research Peter Matthews, Universal Music London. Okay, sure. But then, DSD flat transferred from UK original analog master tapes by Richard Whittaker at FX Copy Room London in 2013. And most importantly, edited in DSD by Manabu Matsumura at Universal Music Studios Tokyo in 2013. This tells us a few interesting things about this disc. Firstly, that it was remastered and pressed long after this format had fallen out of fashion, but also that it was edited directly in DSD. So the master was made specifically for SACD, and in theory, capable of taking advantage of 1-bit audio encoding. I did a little bit of stalking on Manabu Matsumura on Discogs, and they've done a ton of SACD mixing for iconic English and American rock bands. These are bands like Camel, Black Sabbath, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Cream, Steely Dan, and Roxy Music. Like, super duper cool stuff. And that's it for the show and tell portion of this video. I'm gonna go downstairs and listen to The Dark Side of the Moon on the surround sound system and report back. So I have now officially listened to The Dark Side of the Moon in surround sound, and it's really awesome. I will admit I was very hard on this format, but I can now definitely see why Sony and Philips thought there was something there. You know, I think I verbatim said, I don't know why Sony and Philips thought this was a good idea in the last video. And genuinely, off the surround sound album alone, I kind of get it. I really do. And here's why. Short of going to a concert yourself, that was the most immersive listening experience I've ever had. Obviously the mixing was incredible, but most importantly, the way that it was mixed for surround sound was really, really, really good. People talk a lot about soundstage when they're listening to music, and the really short explanation as to what soundstage is basically how easily it is for you to place where the instruments are in space when you're listening to music. You know, sometimes it'll feel like, okay, it feels like the drums are coming from here, the vocals are coming from here, and, you know, the guitar's coming from here. The Dark Side of the Moon in surround sound was like a sound dome. I mean, like, obviously it's in surround sound, but I was really, really impressed at how easily I was able to place sounds in 3D space. I mean, really, a lot of credit needs to go out to the people that mixed it. And I do think part of why it was so good, part of why it was so immersive, was because it was mixed by James Guthrie. And because he was on the team that made this for surround sound, you know, he helped produce and just make so much of Pink Floyd's music. I do really feel like he understands what The Dark Side of the Moon could do in surround sound. But obviously, The Dark Side of the Moon probably tops the list for, like, albums that you would want to listen to in surround sound. So obviously, I'm speaking from a perspective having only sampled, like, what I have to assume is some of the best of the best. But man, it was really, really, really cool. I really am a little bit at a loss for words as to, like, how to communicate, like, just how much I enjoyed it. It was really so cool. So, alright. It was amazing. It was an incredibly immersive listening experience. Does that change my evaluation of the SACD as a format? Absolutely not. It is not. I know I've just spent a few minutes, you know, talking about how amazing it was. But, this entire evaluation is predicated on the fact that I have a surround sound system. And, more importantly, I have a Blu-ray player that will read SACD discs. If you do not already have a surround sound system and already have a Blu-ray player that can read SACD discs, it's just not worth it. It's not worth investing in the big 2026. Hey, that's it for the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. If you have any questions about SACDs, please leave a comment. I will do my best to respond, and look forward to the next video. It will be coming out in the next couple weeks. I got the part I needed on eBay, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.